Well, we got a fun one today because we're going to talk about not what's wrong in the LCMS, but actually build something that could shape what's right. What if the greatest challenge facing our church body right now, reaching and retaining the next generation, isn't just a crisis, but go with me, an opportunity? And what if, instead of waiting for someone else to fix it, we just stepped forward and built a road ourselves? Well, today I'm announcing something brand new. It's bold, it's ambitious, and I believe it could shape the future of young adults in the LCMS for decades to come. And I'll tell you about it in just a minute. All right, friends, well, welcome back to Voices of the LCMS, a special episode today, a different episode. Hey, for the past year, we've spent a lot of time naming hurdles. We've talked about things like pastoral formation, taxation without representation. We've talked about division and decline and digital irrelevance and aging and worship styles and more. All those conversations and topics matter. In 1 Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 32, the men of Issachar are praised because of two things. They understood the times and they knew what Israel should do. Understanding the times without knowing what to do leads to anxiety. Knowing what to do without understanding the times leads to arrogance. We need both, to understand the times and to know what to do. And so over the last year, through conversations and research and State of the LCMS survey with more than 1,000 of you leaders responding, one issue rose above the rest. How do we reach and retain the next generation? That's not controversial. That's not partisan. That's not ideological. It's a deep reality for our church body. We are the oldest major denomination in America by average age. We are losing a significant percentage of our youth before confirmation and even more by age 20. And yet, here's the great tension. The Gen Z is spiritually more open than we've seen in decades. We've been praying for a generation like this, and they're here, and they're searching, and they're curious, and they're tired of shallow answers. They want transcendence. They want truth. They want something rooted. And friends, Lutheran theology is built for this moment. Law and gospel, Christ crucified, identity grounded in the confidence of our baptism, a faith that isn't trying to be trendy, just faithful. But spiritual openness doesn't automatically lead people to Lutheranism. It leads them to whoever is positioned to reach them. And right now, if we're honest with one another, we are not positioned well at the young adult level nationally. Youth, college, and young adult staffing and investment at the national level has decreased, even though we have the resources to prioritize it. So instead of just talking about it, instead of just critiquing it, instead of just waiting for someone else up there to solve it, I'm building something. And today, I want to officially introduce you to Hodos. Hodos is a Greek word meaning way, road, or journey. In Acts, Christianity itself was called the way. Hodos is a road for the next generation of Lutherans. It's a new nonprofit movement committed to three things: connecting young adults, forming disciples, and thereby shaping the future of the Lutheran Church. We will gather young adults nationally. We will create Jesus-centered Lutheran content that engages with 18 to 29-year-olds. We will build spaces for this age to grow, to worship, to wrestle, and to live on mission. And this is not anti-synod. This is not rebellion. This is not about fighting institutions. This is about building the future. Because frustration isn't the enemy of the church. Apathy is. And I refuse, like so many others, to be apathetic about the next generation. And so let me speak plainly. Youth gatherings, I've been there. They're powerful. They are mountaintop moments. But what happens at 22, at 24, at 27? We create mountaintop moments, but often valley level follow-up. Where do young Lutheran adults gather nationally? Where are they being formed? Where are we identifying future pastors and church workers and missionaries and digital creators and lay leaders? Right now, that space in our denomination barely exists. So we're creating it. Not someday, now. And our first major initiative is bold. It's catalytic. We are working toward launching the first ever Lutheran Young Adult National Gathering in 2027. Going to be designed for somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000 young adults, ages 18 to 29 from across our nation. Clear preaching, rich worship, honest conversations, vocational discernment, deep community, missional imagination, not watered down theology, not hype, but rooted, reverent, courageous Lutheran Christianity. And yes, it will be excellent because the next generation deserves excellence. Before that, we're starting something smaller but strategic. This summer in June, I'm hosting an invite-only, calling it Lutheran Influencers Gathering. About 50 leaders who are either young adults or those deeply invested in young adult ministry will gather to pray, plan, collaborate, and fundraise. In fact, save the date, June 25. We're going to have a live stream event where we're going to attempt to raise more than $500,000, maybe up to $1 million to fund the first young adult gathering. And that number might sound big, but if we believe the next generation matters, it's not big at all. We spend more than that on buildings. We spend more than that on maintenance. What if we invested boldly in people in the future? And so let me say this clearly. Hodos is not a protest movement. It's not a breakaway network. It's not a platform for complaining. I'm not launching this to stick it to anyone. I'm launching it because Jesus is seated on the throne, and that means we can build things with hope. Our King is not nervous. The gospel is not fragile, and the future is not closed. And for the last year, many people said, thank you, Zach, for naming some of the problems. But here's what I believe, and here's what I've always believed. We need new ventures that spend less time diagnosing and more time building. And once we know, just try things, create solutions, move. Because data without direction leads to despair, but data paired with faith leads to movement. And this is movement. And if this stirs something in you, here's how you can respond. First, I'd love for you to pray. Pray for wisdom and unity. Pray for our young adults to encounter Jesus deeply. Second, stay connected. You can go to our website, hodosway.com, and add your name and your email, and you can choose what you want updates about. The Influencers Gathering, the 2027 Young Adult Gathering, and then when future giving opportunities open. Share this webpage with other young adults or those that are passionate about young adults in the LCMS. And third, support this financially. Right now, myself and everyone putting this together is doing this pro bono. The Influencers Gathering this June costs about $50,000, and we still need another $30,000 to launch it. And so if you feel called to make a 4 or 5 figure gift to help kickstart it, email me. I'll put it in the description, but we'll have broader giving infrastructure set up soon. Friends, we are moving now. The national gathering is just step one, and out of it, we plan to build ongoing digital content, young adult discipleship resources, leadership development pathways, national connection networks, and missional initiatives. This isn't just an event. It's a road, it's a way, a journey. It's Hodos. And we're not waiting for permission, and we're also not building out of bitterness. We're building out of hope, because if the LCMS is going to have a meaningful presence 25 or 30 years from now, it will not happen accidentally. It will happen because leaders chose courage over comfort, because churches chose mission over maintenance, and because some of us decided to build something for the next generation. The King is seated, the footstool is up, and it is time to shine the light of Jesus and pave the way ahead. This is Hodos. This is the road forward. Let's build it together.